Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. Welcome and thank you very much for joining us to another Primal Video live session. So today I really wanted to talk about 360 cameras, but I also want to do a live Q&A with our loyal subscribers as well. So thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, so 360 cameras. I just want to jump straight into it. Feel free to say hello. I can see we've got a couple of people in the chat there already. We've got Shongani Menace. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Ryan, we've got Genius Designs here. Welcome. Cool. 360 cameras. If you've been watching this channel for a while, then you know that I am a big fan of 360 cameras. I think it's already progressed further than 3D, which was a bit of a phase a while back, and there was 3D movies, and there still are, but 3D TVs, who really uses that stuff? But I think 360 is where it's becoming far more achievable for everyone, and it's pretty fun too, because you can really take your viewers and immerse them in a world or an experience that they couldn't normally see, or it could be somewhere on the other side of the world, or something, a scenario that they may not have ever been in before. So 360 cameras, there's a heap out there to choose from. And we're not just going to talk about 360 cameras, so I will get to the comments too, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on the 360 space because I think it is something that is absolutely amazing. If you've got a 360 camera, let me know in the comments, let me know which one you've got and how you're using it. So I can see, we got the real Jay Smith here. Have you toyed with the 360 live functionality then? I have actually done a few 360 lives. I have probably more so to Facebook than to YouTube, just testing out. I've got a heap of 360 cameras here, but I will do a 360 live stream as well, probably within the next couple of weeks, trialing out some of the new functionality on some of the new 360 cameras. So that would be, be pretty cool. And I'll put it to YouTube so that you guys can see it too. But if you're not following us on Facebook, then check out the Primal Video Facebook page too, because we'll normally do a quick round of testing there, and then I'll share the results with you guys so that we're not sort of wasting your time with that. But if you want to jump on, Facebook is where we're doing some testing with that too. Cool. So we've got Lynn here, says she loves to learn. A good psychic says hello from Arizona. Get away to the Grand Canyon. Yeah, I actually was in close by. We didn't make it to the Grand Canyon. So it's definitely on my bucket list of things to do, but it would be a good spot to use a 360 camera. And if I missed your comment, don't take it personally. The comment's moving pretty quick. So yeah, if I get to your comment, then yeah, that's cool. If I miss it, I apologize. Keep asking questions. And if anyone else is in the comments area that sees a question come through that you can see that I've missed, then feel free to answer as well. We're all building this awesome community of people creating videos and looking to up their video game. So feel free to help each other out as well, because that's what it's all about. So 360 cameras, I've got a heap of them. And I've been testing and trialing them, and there's strengths and weaknesses on the lot. The ones that I'm really pumped on are the Samsungs and the Insta360 cameras. I think both of those as brands for 360 cameras are amazing, and good entry-level 360. I can see that we've got, is it Lucius in there, or like a Lushy? LG, it's got an LG 360. That's awesome. I'd be keen to hear your feedback on that as well. So the first 360 camera I ever had was this one. This is the Samsung Gear 360, the original. And I was blown away with what you could actually do. And it was one of the first 4K 360 cameras, like consumer ones, that you could just pick up reasonably cheap and go out and shoot some 360 videos. I just want to hold off on the notifications here. There we go, cleared that one. So I was actually blown away with the 360 capabilities of this, but it had some major drawbacks as well, in that you had to have a Samsung phone, which splits the market in half anyway, but also that the stitching of the two lenses wasn't done in real time, which means that you couldn't do any live streaming. And even if you wanted to edit the footage down quickly, you had to either process it through your phone, which again had to be a Samsung device, or you had to bring it into Cyberlink software on Windows. And there still is no Mac alternative to seamlessly do this either. So great camera, but struggled a little bit with the functionality, and I actually had a few issues with it when I was testing, and I will put links to we've got tests on these, the actual 360 videos of me walking around and talking about the things that I like. Some of you might have seen those videos already. It actually overheated and switched off twice when I was filming that review. So that's not ideal. And the first time I actually went to film the review, it was a hot day here. One of the camera lenses was facing the sun, the other one facing me, obviously. And the backside facing the sun actually fogged up. So again, not a great experience using this 360 camera, but the image quality was one of the best that I'd seen for a consumer grade 360 camera. So it's still a great camera if you be aware that it may fog up or may overheat and switch off. But the new one, this one, if you look at them side by side, is actually a much better camera. So all the things that I didn't like about this one, they've pretty much fixed in this one. So there's internal stitching, which means that you can actually now go live on Facebook, on YouTube, directly from the 360 camera. And that's what the camera that I will be using to go live, and we'll do one on YouTube as well. So Samsung Gear 360, both got the same name. This is the 2017 version. Battery life lasts around 2 hours in my experience. It took around 2.5 hours to charge. It's got a memory card slot, so you can put up to 256 gig micro SD in it. The microphone works really, really well. I was blown away with the quality of the audio on it for such a small little camera. These are both dust proof or splash proof. They're not waterproof, but I'm gonna try and test that and see. I'm going to take it out. See the big wave painting here behind it, picture here behind me? That's Mark Visser. So I work with him quite a lot. Big wave surfer, crazy guy. We're going to try and get out in the back of the jet ski and some big surf with this 360 camera and see what we can get. Ideally not dropping it in the water as it's not waterproof, but I think we should be able to, number one, have a bit of fun, and number two, should be able to get some pretty cool footage out of it as well. So live streaming and everything direct from this. I think this one was a 30 megapixel camera. So insane. When you look at the 360 cameras, the photos that you could take on this was 30 megapixels. Whereas this one, the newer one, is 15 megapixels. But when you're comparing them side by side, the quality is better on the newer one. So that's pretty amazing. I'll give you some tips. I can see the questions there. Tips for 360 videos. I will jump in and give you some tips on filming, because there's a lot of simple things that people, simple mistakes that people make that can dramatically reduce the quality of your 360 videos. So I'll definitely share a couple of those tips with you as well. But the other cameras I like, besides the Samsungs, are the Insta360 cameras. And these ones clip onto your phones. So this one here, a tiny little one here, is the Insta360 Air. This is the Android one. So it's got a USB-C. When you're purchasing it, you can pick either USB-C or micro USB. It just clips onto the bottom of your phone. So it then means that you'll be using your phone upside down, but that's it. That's the device. So you can broadcast live because it's got the stitching built in. You can take photos and share direct to Instagram, Facebook. You can share your videos direct to Facebook and YouTube as well. So amazing, amazing camera. This is actually the one that I carry with me everywhere because it is so small. You can just fit it in your pocket, clip it on when you want it. The app automatically opens and you're good to go. It also does all the recording directly into your phone, so there's no transfer off. Whereas the Samsungs were recording internally to the memory card, which meant that if you wanted to share, it's a quick thing, but you still got to transfer the files over Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to your phone to get them there to be able to edit them or share them out. So this one, that's a major feature on, I want to make sure I'm not putting this behind the comments, on the Insta360 Air. So Insta360 also make an iPhone equivalent, which is a little bit of a different offering. This is the Insta360 Nano. So you can see it's got the lightning port there. You connect that directly to your phone. I got an iPhone here too. So again, just clips onto the bottom of the phone. And this now is your 360 camera. So when you're holding it and walking around and doing your videos, it's just using your phone, which is amazing. Once again, it records directly to an internal memory card on this one, which also means that you can use it separate as well. So you don't actually need your phone, but in order to be able to get the best results out of it, then you should pair it with your phone and control it that way, and you get full functionality and the ability to live stream if you've got it paired with your phone. So amazing cameras. This one here sells for $199 US. The Air sells for, lifted it up and it's still connected to my phone. The Insta360 Air sells for $129, but there's no built-in recording. This one will have to be used with your Android device. The Samsung Gear 360, oh, I nearly dropped it. Samsung Gear 360, the old one, the big one, you can still buy, and it sells for $110. And the new one is, I've got it written down because I knew I would forget it, is $180 US. So none of these are insanely expensive. All of them will give you great results. There's different sort of use cases for each, but the reason I like this one and the Insta360 Air, besides the fact that I'm primarily using Android as my daily driver for phones. This one, because it's fully standalone, you can press record, walk away, and you've still got your phone with you. So you could make a phone call or actually monitor the shot remotely. With the Air, it's your phone. So you're recording and doing everything direct to your phone, which makes it interesting. It's a totally different product offering. There's some definite benefits in that the footage and everything is saved directly on your phone, so it's easier to share. But the downside is your phone is always going to be in shot. So if you want to take your phone with you and walk away, then you'll need to clamp or mount your phone to a tripod instead of just sitting this somewhere. Now, this does have a tripod thread on the bottom, so you've got some pretty cool mounting options with that. And this cord that's hanging off it, looks a little strange, I know. That's clips onto the bottom here, and it just makes it more stable when you're sitting it down to make that easier. So those are 360 cameras, and I'm pretty pumped on them because I reckon that it is so easy to create and to share the locations that you're at. So if you're at the beach or you're seeing something cool, you can get your viewers or your audience immersed in that experience with you. And what I really like is sharing that experience. Like you could be at an event and walking around and talking and meeting people, and you don't have to spin the camera around to show them. They can look around by themselves. And that's, in regards to tips then, that for creating videos, is to hold the cameras steady. And you just point them in one direction and let the viewers look around. So if you're there showing them this and showing them this and showing them this and moving the camera around, if they're watching in a headset or watching with their phone, it would be an absolute nightmare for them. It'd be frustrating. They won't know what's going on, and it'll be blurry and confusing because there's too much going on, too much movement, which degrades the quality. So you, as the person filming, needs to try and hold it as steady as possible and not move it around to point things out. Instead, guide your viewers and say, if you look behind me now or point over there is something amazing that you need to see. That's the biggest tip that I would have for you, along with holding it stable. Because people are going to be watching these with headsets on, in a lot of cases, any shake is amplified. So you want to try and keep them as stable as you can. Probably my third and final tip would be to use a tripod or something to get it out of your hand so that you're not just holding it. A selfie stick would be awesome. Anything to get it out of your hand, a little tripod, or I've got a Gorilla Pod. I was about to grab it, but it's got a light on it. Anything like that to get it out of your hands and get it more stable, and so that you can place it down on things, then that would be what I would recommend. So keep it stable, don't move it around too much, let the viewer do the looking, in which case it's gonna make it more of an experience for them too. If they can move around and look around to see what's happening, then yeah, it's a far more powerful video for them that way as well. Savage Boy says he's new. Hey, new, I'm Justin. I think you mean you're new here or you're new to 360, so welcome. Mitch's DIY says you can buy them at Australian and National Geographic. That's awesome. Yeah, fantastic things. I think JB Hi-Fi in Australia also sell them, or if you're in the US, Amazon, Best Buy, they all sell them. You can buy them online as well. DVideo says hello stream. Hello. You can call me Justin, that's fine. We got Z Tech Video Production says hi. Stars and Clouds Creative, can you stream using 360 yet? Yes, you can. We've done a few live 360s on our Facebook page, and we will start doing them on our YouTube channel as well. I I really like that with the Samsung Gear 360, the new one. It is amazing. The quality on it, it is the highest quality camera that I've got here. It is a full 4K camera. The other ones, the Insta360s, they are 3K. Now you might think 3K, 4K for live streaming. It does make a difference. And if you are doing them, it's really important that you tell your viewers to max out the quality if they can, if their internet supports it. Because the quality with 360 by default, in a lot of cases, will be lower quality. So you'll need to tell your audiences that they'll get the best experience if they up the quality. And it's not always something that's obvious to them because they're straight away immersed in, their phones moving or whatever. This cool experience of Bin 360. Just prompt them maybe throughout the live stream as well to make sure that they are getting the best experience, that they are maxing out the quality. So we've got the gaming master that says, hello, hey, how you doing? Stars and clouds, mind blown at Mitch's DIYs. That's cool, we'll have to go and check out Mitch's channel. What would you recommend for vlogging? As in vlogging with 360, I'll assume that's what you meant. I would recommend, I'm in two minds because I like that this one is so small, the Insta360 Air or the Insta360 Nano, and you don't necessarily need your phone. But I like the flexibility of the opposite, of not having it always connected to your phone. So it'll come down to personal preference. I hate to say it, I'd like to give you a firm answer. What would I use? I'd probably use a combination. I know that's not a great answer either. If I had to pick one, I would pick this one. Purely based on the quality. I'm a big advocate. If you've got the ability to shoot 4K, edit 4K, release 4K, you should do it. This one's 3K, again, not a deal breaker. If you're going to be editing the footage on your phone, maybe go this one, go the Insta360, because the footage is going to be directly on it. If you're going to be editing on the computer, it's going to be quicker to get the footage off something like this with the micro SD. Just take the card out, put it in your computer, and you're away. So there's fors and against for both. There's no perfect answer. Yeah, I think probably personally right now, if I was going to start vlogging in 360, I would use a combination of both, but I think the Samsung would be my pick overall and my go-to. It's just easier to carry something smaller around than something else. And you don't have to worry about charging this either because it just runs off your phone battery. But that's also a negative because it's going to kill your phone battery pretty quick as well. I'm losing my voice already. Wow. Excuse me one second. Oh, Mitch DIY doesn't have any videos yet. Well, all the best with your videos, and yeah, hopefully you can get your channel kicking along if that's your goal. So we're at airtime. From a filmmaking perspective, do you find it easier to edit 360 videos, seeing as shots typically need to be much longer to retain immersion compared to normal edits? From a filmmaking perspective, editing 360 videos is easier because you are doing longer shots. I'd recommend that you hold each shot for at least 20 to 30 seconds versus something like even a music video where your edits are just so quick. You need to give your viewer enough time to look around. You would piss them off if you've got this awesome 360 shot and they don't have enough time to take it in. If they get halfway around looking around and you've cut to something different, I think you would annoy people and they would quickly stop watching your videos, or they'd constantly be looking around trying to make sure they saw everything in that really quick amount of time. So general rule, it is easier because there's less edits, but then you could use music to help them feel like they're in that environment. So music is a massive storytelling feature, tool is probably the word, and you can really dictate what your viewers should be feeling throughout your videos. So if you've got some scene and you've got really pumped up music, house music, club music, they're gonna be thinking and feeling a totally different thing versus something that was maybe classical or country music. So music selection is a big part of it as well, and you can help guide what they should be feeling and thinking through the videos using your music. So there's another tool to do it, but yes, long shots would be the way to go. Cool, we got HTO tube. Cool, what do you say? What would you prefer, a mixer or an audio interface for audio quality enhancement? Then the question I would put back to you would be how many microphones you're going to be running. So a mixer is awesome if you're going to be running multiple microphones or multiple inputs, so that you can adjust the volumes and everything as you go. So they're probably two different things, whereas an interface unit is typically, you might get a volume on one microphone input, maybe into your computer or into your camera. So they're slightly different. If I was gonna pick for say this scenario, like a live streaming, I'd just go an audio interface. So all I'm using now is the Panasonic GH4 into an HDMI interface. So that's converting the audio and the video from the camera into my MacBook Pro, into Wirecast, then out to you guys. So they're different offerings. I hope that answers your question. If you're going to run multiple microphones, or you want to have different input sources and switch between them, you want to have someone dialing in or calling in, or something like connecting Skype through, or an Xbox or something, then maybe a mixer would be better for you, because you can adjust the volumes on the fly easily. So I hope that answers your question. Cool, so we've got Stars and Clouds Creative. You are in Australia, right? How do you go streaming in our awful internet speeds? I am in Australia. I'm on the Sunshine Coast in Australia, which is an hour north of Brisbane. I have decent internet, and it's not through our NBN, or a national broadband network. I'm using a fixed wireless connection, so it's essentially a big Wi-Fi connection, and I ran a speed test just before going live, and it was 80 megabits per second down, and I think it was 65 up. But it can vary anywhere up to, I ran a speed test last night and it was over 100 down, and it was about 90 up. So yeah, definitely good internet for Australia. And it only costs around, I think it's 150 to 180 a month. So not a huge amount, but definitely not like, so Mike, who's my brother and partner at Primal Video, and you might have seen him in a couple of videos, and we will get him to do a few more on their channel as well. He's in Singapore, and he's just got internet connected, gigabit internet connected, fiber direct to his house. I think it's $39 a month for a gigabit connection. If you want dual gigabit, so you want two fiber lines into your house, then it was like $79 a month. Unlimited data. So that's just insane. And we're definitely getting ripped off in Australia for what our offering is. And most people would be lucky to get 20 megabit down and 5 up on our broadband network. So not to bore everyone that's everywhere else in the world, but yes, good internet in Australia is hard to find. And I was lucky to find a provider that offered fixed wireless. So maybe wherever you are, you could Google fixed wireless provider. And this isn't just limited to Australia. If you've got bad internet and you're limited to ADSL, then there could be a provider around that could help you out with fixed wireless. So there's a little dish or a little receiver on the roof, and that's how it works. But it works really, really well. And it was a game changer. For someone that works in video, yeah, you couldn't do this normally without decent internet connection. I'm sure we're streaming this at 1080p now. So if you are, or have the capability to watch it in 1080p, to watch it in full quality, make sure you max out the settings, because yeah, it should be looking pretty clear. Cool. I just missed your comment there, but it says you're on 1.5 megabits per second Optus cable. So yeah, that's pretty low. Yeah, especially for cable. Cool. So we've got, thanks so much for answering my question. I now have a crystal clear idea on how I should be going for. Thank you, Justin. You're the man. No worries. That's our goal with Primal Video, in case you hadn't figured it out already, is to help as many people as we can create better videos faster, or to get better results with their videos faster. There's too many things that are overwhelming for people, like tech, gear, internet, all of these barriers that stop us doing what we need to do, which is create content, share content, help people get our message out. So that is our overall goal with Primal Video. So that's why I like these Q&As as well. I get to see how I can help, or where you're stuck, and then we can look at the best way to help a lot of people with the same problems, because we're not all, you can't be the only one that's stuck in that place. And there's people that I go to as well when I'm stuck or something, Google and YouTube being the first two. And then beyond that, yeah, it's all about helping each other and pulling everyone else up so that we can all do what we need to do. Got a little deep there. Cool, 1080p. Mitch is watching 1080p. Mitch is living in Bly. He's just around the corner. Yeah, we're very local, probably 10-minute drive from where I am. So maybe we'll catch up for a coffee or a beer sometime. And we've got CK in the house. CK has been following us for, I think I'd like to say day one, back, feels like a long time ago, but CK has been supporting our channel for a long time, so really appreciate it. And we do, like Mike and I read every single comment. We'll respond to as many as we can. So yeah, really appreciate the support. And you guys that are in here are the ones that are commenting and sharing our stuff and helping us grow. So that's amazing, and big thank you from both Mike and I. And actually, I keep mentioning Mike because he's gonna be featuring a lot more on the channel as well. He is the ninja behind our video ranking and even the topics that we're picking, all of this stuff. Like, he is the video marketing ranking guru, ninja. He is insane. So I really want to share some of those things for you with you guys as well, to help you grow your YouTube channels, or even if it's not YouTube, if it's Facebook, if it's getting views on your videos or helping you get your message out. That's a big part of what we're going to be helping with as well. So you may see Mike's face pop up on the Primal Video channel a bit more. Stars and Clouds, you're a star. Really appreciate your work and learning more. Thanks lots. And from a fellow Queenslander. Wow, I got a few Australians in the house. This is actually pretty rare, but I think it comes down to the time. Being 11:40 a.m. in Australia at the moment, probably would be late afternoon in the US, which is where most of our audience is, but we've got people all around the world, so it's pretty amazing. And thank you all for the support so that we can grow. What is your favorite headset for viewing 360? I change this back and forth. Like behind me here, it's probably out of focus, but I've got a Samsung Gear VR, Samsung Gear VR, and the Google Daydream. Wow, it's a mind blank. I had a Google Pixel and I liked the Google Daydream. I think Google's experience for the interface was really, really cool. I think the offerings that they have in there aren't as good as in the software and the experiences, they call them. The Samsung experiences, like you can put the headset on and go to a haunted house and those sorts of things. That is better on the Samsung. They're really spending big time and money, and their parent company or who they've partnered up with is Oculus. So Oculus make a heap of 360 products, like really, really professional end products around 360. So it's different. Some things will work much better on Google, like YouTube obviously is owned by Google. The YouTube experience is way better on the Google Daydream versus the Samsung. The Samsung, you can still watch YouTube videos, but it's not that easy to get to. You've kind of got to open up the web browser and go to the desktop version of, or the browser version of YouTube, instead of just playing a video and clicking the little button and it's there in 360. So it's different, but then the Samsung is integrated with Facebook 360 really seamlessly. So that's probably the biggest thing with the two. I think in regards to what's changed the fastest since I've been looking at 360, I'd say that the Google has come the fastest, but Samsung started miles ahead. So there's different games and things that you can now find that are suited for one or the other. But I think for most things, you can do pretty much the same on one that you can on the other. Comfort-wise, I suppose that's a question, because that was one that we did do a video comparing the two. Comfort-wise, I think the newer Samsung Gear VR headset is more comfortable than the Google Pixel, and it's actually darker. So it actually has a better seal around your face so that you're not able to see light coming in and all the rest of it. But yeah, kind of went back and forth. I think if I had to pick one up right now, I'm currently using the Samsung Galaxy S8 as my daily driver, daily phone. So I would put in the Samsung headset, but this will still work on the Google headset. So the Google one will work with most phones as well. Hopefully we get an iPhone equivalent one or an app so that you can use it on iPhone a bit easier as well. In which case you'd be using the Google Daydream headset. Cool. All right, so what do we got here? The Game Master 21. You've helped me grow my channel so much. That's awesome. Really, yeah, fantastic. Congratulations on your channel and your channel growth. And thank you for letting me know. Okay, unscripted lifestyle, LOL. We Queenslanders are all bludgers. Yeah, pretty much. You could say that. What day is it today? I have to think for a sec. Thursday, right? So it's Thursday and it's 11:45 or noon. And there's a few people sitting on YouTube. I'm one of them. So yes, maybe we are bludgers. And James Bowen, yeah, it's okay. That you guys are talking to yourselves. That's cool. Mitch says the Oculus Rift is epic. Yeah, I haven't had an opportunity to use a proper Oculus Rift yet, like not the smartphone 360. The proper headsets, the proper virtual reality. I'm really hoping to do so in the next few weeks. There is one that's set up at a co-working space down here. I think that's actually sponsored by YouTube, so I'm really keen to go and give that a go and yeah, play back some of this 360 content in a full-on headset, which would be pretty cool. What do we got here? Salah says, I'm having problems with Reflector 2, please help. Is there anything specific or any area that you are stuck that I could help? Probably need more information is where I'm going. It could be your internet connect, your Wi-Fi. The biggest issue that people have with Reflector is that their phone or their computer is dropping out Wi-Fi, so the quality is less and the recording doesn't happen because there's dropout. What I had to do to use Reflector was to put in a new Wi-Fi hotspot. I was about to pick it up then, but I don't want to mess with the internet. I got the Google Home, which is a mesh network. So there's 3 little boxes that sit throughout the house and it creates one network so you can move around and it's not going to drop and switch between each different Wi-Fi hotspot as most Wi-Fi networks would. So if you've just got a repeater or a booster, then you'll drop off one and go to the other and there'll be some hard drop. So if you're on a call or a live stream and you move between Wi-Fi's or your computer decides to switch, then yeah, that's not ideal. So the new Google Home Wi-Fi or Google Wi-Fi is amazing. It's not cheap. CK says, Justin, please give some tips on making videos for YouTube on smartphone. We have heaps of tips. Like, I think that is the biggest area that we are creating videos around is smartphone video creation, because our overall goal is to help you create videos, and the easiest way to do that is to use the tools that you already have. So some tips would be to use the rear facing camera if you can, so that they're better quality. But if that's too hard for you, if you're filming by yourself, software like Reflector 2, which we were just talking about, will help you do that. Mirror your phone screen to your laptop or computer so you can see what's going on. Or just use the front-facing camera because it's easy, and creating the content is more important than having a workflow that's not going to work for you. So use the front-facing camera. If your phone supports it, like the new Samsungs, kick it into Pro mode so that you can lock down things like your white balance, like your exposure, like your shutter speed, so that your phone just isn't in automatic mode. If your phone's in auto mode and cloud comes over outside, it'll totally darken your shot and it may ruin the shot. Whereas if you're on manual mode, your phone's not going to be constantly adjusting and looking for focus and whatever else, so you'll get a consistent video that is higher quality. And that's what you would get. If you paid for a production team to come out and film you, they would be locking down all their settings and not using auto. So wherever you can, try to replicate that. If your phone doesn't have those settings, then you could use an app like Filmic Pro, which works on both iOS and Android, and that gives you access to all those settings. So Filmic Pro is a great one that works on both. Then in regards to editing, edit with whatever's going to be the fastest for you on your smartphone. So if you're on an iPhone, iMovie is actually a really good option, but a new one that's just come to iOS, iPhone, is KineMaster or KineMaster, K-I-N-E Master. It's amazing, and we will hopefully have some videos out on that soon. I have done a video previously, a full video walkthrough on how to edit using Android and KineMaster. So definitely check that out, because it's the fastest way to edit, and it's the most streamlined way to edit on your Android or now iOS device as well. Hopefully that helps. Life with Ken and Jane, new channel having problems getting videos to show up. Said public YouTube help says we're not using. Says we're not. Kind of missed the top of that. Using iPad now. Started before videos on PC. Definitely want to make sure that your videos are public and not unlisted. I think that was where you were going with that. Sorry, apologies if I missed the question. Yeah, no one's going to find your videos if they're unlisted or private. So they have to be public, and then you have to look at the most important thing beyond your content That's the second thing, is your thumbnails, because they're the things that people are going to click. So your thumbnail needs to be engaging, or, I mean, I keep coming back to it, but look, think of going into a bookstore or looking on Amazon as well, Netflix, right? So you're going through, you're trying to work out what to watch, you're looking at the pictures first. It's exactly the same with YouTube. People are going to be hooked with the pictures, then they'll look at the title and go, yep, that sounds interesting, I'll click it. Once they're in, it's your job to entertain them or give them some sort of value or help them. So that's where the content is then really important, but more important is to get them into your video first, which is your thumbnails. So I can't stress that enough, and that's Mike does all the thumbnails for us, and he's amazing. So that's he spends a lot of time testing different things, what works, what doesn't. But look at Nick Nimmin. If you don't know who Nick is, then check out his YouTube channel. Nimmin is his last name, Nick Nimmin. I'm hopeless at spelling. And Brian G. Johnson is also amazing, and Roberto Blake have great videos on their YouTube channel. Look at their branding, and also Sean Cannell from Think Media TV. Just go to their channel pages, look at what they're doing, look at the style. You know that that's their videos because they're all consistent branding, which is really, really important. So that would be my biggest tips for anyone starting out and it isn't getting traction. But also know that the first 50 subscribers is the longest part. Like, that's where you'll question, why am I doing this? I've been uploading heaps of videos and no one's subscribing, whatever. Like, most people will stop then. You've got to push past that so that you get your first 100 and so on. Like, it does grow and it does get easier. There was a point, like, I remember our first 50 on our channel, first 50 subscribers, we were questioning, or I was questioning, like, I'm putting out these awesome tips and information and I'm talking to 5 people, or no one is seeing these. But obviously if we'd stopped then we wouldn't be here right now. So it is definitely keep going, keep going with it, and stick with it and be consistent. If you're uploading a random video here and a random video there, then there's no reason for someone to subscribe to you. You've got to be offering value or entertainment, which is value, and you've got to be consistent. They'll subscribe if they know that there's a new video coming in a week or the next day or whatever it might be, or once a month. As long as they know that there's something consistent coming, then they'll subscribe. They're not going to subscribe if it's a random time that you're posting, because it's not consistent enough for them. They'll just go, oh yeah, I'll just look back later, and they may not. Okay, just looking at the comment, don't speak like that here. If we need to make someone moderator, let me know I missed anything there that may not have been good in the comments. Live chat is cool, awesome. Yeah, the live chat is, I'm just running it through Wirecast, so it's a little bit longer to get set up for each live stream, but it seems to work well. And that's what I'm using now to read your comments. So that's why I'm not scrolling back up, I'm just taking them out of the comment stream there, so it's tied up there for people watching the replay. Justin, please help me out. This is for Clash with Rushes. Bro, tell people to subscribe to my channel. I'm new. That's the one thing that I won't do. I'm sorry. I am not a fan of sub for sub. I don't think that's the great way to grow your channel. There's a lot of people, like, we actually delete every time someone comments on our videos and says sub for sub. If you sub for me, I'll sub to you back. I don't see the benefit in that, because you're getting subscribers to a channel that they're not interested in. You're better off building subscribers that are interested in your in your channel and your videos, because they'll comment, because they'll like them, they'll share them. You're offering them value. Just to get subscribers for subscribers' sake doesn't help anyone, because they're not real subscribers. Your engagement on your video is going to be lower, and the whole wheel doesn't spin as well as you're getting, attract the people that want to be there, and find more people like that, and over deliver to them and help them with whatever their problems are, whether they just want to be entertained, entertain them. But look for real subscribers. So I'm not having a go, I'm not a fan of sub for sub, and I can't see how it can actually work long term, because you'll have a heap of subscribers and zero engagement, and you actually need the engagement to grow. So that's my opinion. I got tech news by Apov. Hey, fan from India, you make great videos. Thank you very much, and welcome from India. James Brown, someone said D word. Okay, well, we can moderate that if we need to. So we've got Oleg here from WeVideo. Welcome. For those of you who haven't checked out WeVideo, it is definitely worth checking out. I know that we've done a couple of videos on our channel, and I'm not just plugging this because there's team members from WeVideo in the chat now, but it is actually a really solid video editing solution, and it is our go-to for any collaborative editing. Any team projects that we're working on, we'll put them in WeVideo, and it means that I can upload the footage and I can do a first quick cut. Then I can send it off to some of our editors. They can then polish it down. I can log back in, and you know, we're working together instead of trying to send a heap of footage back and forth and project files back and forth. WeVideo is amazing for that, and they're really growing quick. So they've now got awesome titles that you can drop in, all those animated titles and things that you see on our videos. Like, we always get questions, you know, how do I do that? How do I do that? Well, WeVideo now lets you do the same titles, the same sorts of stuff that we're doing on ours in there. So yeah, thanks very much for joining us. I missed your question there, I got distracted, but yeah, thanks for joining us. And yeah, I'm a big fan of WeVideo. So if you're looking for an editing solution, I think it's $5 per month for, there's a free version, there's a $5 per month, and I think there's a $7 per month, but it's definitely worth it. Like, that's insanely cheap for what you can do, and you can edit 4K videos on there as well. So awesome. So I've got Grumpy Man Reviews. Just want to say thanks for your informative videos. Thank you very much for joining us and for supporting us. I really appreciate it. And we've got Susan Singari. Yep, Singari. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, your videos in the UFC space are absolutely amazing. Now I've talking about you, and I've missed your comment. What were you talking about a few minutes ago? Live chat. Missed it. I'm sorry. I might be able to pull it back up here on this other side. Susan, is the software you were talking about a few minutes ago live chat? No, WeVideo. WeVideo is the editing, online cloud-based editing. So it's amazing. But you can also edit from your desktop or from your phones even as well. There's WeVideo iOS apps and Android apps. But what I really like about it too, not to make this the WeVideo show, is where was I going? Now I just got a full mind blank. You can edit on systems that aren't powerful. So normally to edit 4K video, you need to have a really powerful system. But I've been editing on a Chromebook, which has like no power, through WeVideo, because your footage is up in the cloud and you're essentially just running your video editing software through a web browser. So it's definitely worth checking out. Cool. Right, James Bowen, you helped get me subs. Thank you so much. Love you. Love you too. Love you guys. And yeah, however we can help. This is all about building a community of people to help each other. So again, if I miss something in your comments, then your questions, then feel free to help each other out if you know the answer. And I can see that a few of you are doing that, so that's awesome. Mitch says, guys, stop advertising for other channels. That's not the place for it here. Thanks for the support. Do you play Clash of Clans? Oh my God, you're so hardworking. I have got to be honest. Sorry, that was from Clash of Clans. I do not play games. I am not a gamer, and I think I had said this in the last video as well. I think if I started playing games, then I would be just so addicted, and then I wouldn't get any other work done. So I've grown up working in, like, I've got an IT degree. I've always been building computers since I was a very young age. I've always had like the best gaming systems with the best video cards in them to edit videos. And all the gamers are like, oh, can we try this on your computer or whatever? And they were just upset because I'd never installed games on these systems because I was using them for video editing or for 3D work or for animation or anything like that. So no, I don't play Clash of Clans. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I would know nothing about games, I'm sorry. So yeah, which I suppose is strange on YouTube because most of the top YouTubers are gamers as well. So interesting. Fun fact about me. Cool. Susan says, I wish you made house calls. Yeah, well, I know that you've sent through some emails. We do actually have, we are launching soon a membership site. Kind of think of it as Patreon, but not. And we will be offering more in-depth tutorials and those sorts of things on that. So keep an eye out because we will mention it on a YouTube video, but it could be something coming in the next few weeks or months anyway. But we're really excited about that, and that's what we're working on at the moment. Tech Gamer says, Tech Crew isn't a gamer either. Mitch says, do you have kids? Yes, I have 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old daughter, Ava, and I have a 2-year-old son, Alex. So yeah, joys of working and filming from home. They're actually not here today, but it does make it difficult when they're playing in the background or whatever. And I actually recorded a video, and halfway through, Alex came in with his little bike, and I didn't know, and I didn't see it in the shot, wasn't monitoring the shot. So after he left, there's a bike and then in the bottom of the video. So yeah, definitely, I've got 2 kids, and they're awesome, and I'm really enjoying it. Okay, see, we got Oleg back there now. Haha, my question was around adding 360 to WeVideo. Do you think you'd be able to edit 360 videos with proxy files? Definitely. I haven't tried it, and I guess I'd like to ask you if it's possible, but I can't see why it wouldn't be. The biggest thing though is that 360 video files are different resolution. So none of these are recording, like they'll say 4K, but it's not a traditional 4K resolution. So if WeVideo was supporting different resolutions and could actually take in the resolution from a 360 camera or allow a custom resolution, if it does that already, I'm sorry that I've missed that, then that would be awesome, definitely. Because you edit the videos exactly the same on like, it's just a piece of video footage really, but in order to edit well, I like that Adobe Premiere, and you can get plugins for Final Cut, and what's the other one on Windows? Power Director, Cyberlink Power Director actually has like a VR viewer. So when you're editing your video back, you can kick it into 360 and you can position your titles and your graphics in that 360 space, which is really cool. So, but in regards to actually editing and trimming your clips, you can do that in any video editing software as long as it supports the taking in that same resolution, but more importantly, being able to export that same resolution, because if the resolution changes and you're then exporting a 16:9 ratio, which it's not, and we're getting a little technical here, then you'll end up with the black circles on the top and the bottom of the 360 video. So you might have seen those on some videos. That's why they've exported at a lower resolution than what their camera was recording at. So yeah. Cool. I got a couple of, we got Susan, thank you. Grumpy Man's Reviews. I know what you mean, my kids are the same. Yep, they're great, but they're noisy. That's my sum up. CK says, best mic for recording smartphone. My budget is low, like $15 maybe. Right now I'm using a $20 microphone, the Boya BY-M1, so it's hidden well under my shirt. I hope that was working then. Yeah, okay, I couldn't see the audio bars moving. Yes, $20 microphone. It's the Boya BY-M1. We've mentioned it in a heap of videos on our channel. I still think it's the best bang for buck microphone. Like I've got huge amounts of microphones. I've got a Rode Video Mic Pro sitting on top of the camera. I've got like a heap of other microphones that we use for documentaries and those sorts of things, but we've compared them side by side, and the best bang for buck, in my opinion, is this $20 Boya microphone. So that's why we're just using it to create these videos. We don't need to overwhelm everyone and use all this high-tech gear, because the workflow actually goes up. For me to use one of the professional microphones, I need to convert from XLR to 3.5 and then monitor the audio and get power to it, and it's like not necessary. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. Or there's other ones. There's an iRig. iRig, the company, make an iRig lavalier. Who's the other one? Rode, make a smart lav if you're going to be using your smartphone, is another option. But what I don't like about that is the short cable. Like it's like an arm's length cable, which makes it hard. Cool, so we might wrap this up pretty soon. We've been on for, I know I started about 1:15, so I'll wrap this up. I'll take a few more questions and then we'll finish this up. But we are going to be doing this weekly now and around this same time. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you on the next one too. I've missed the top comment there, I'm sorry. Right, so you need that mic, Life with Jen and Ken. Jen and Ken. I'm really bad at Ken. Okay, I've missed it again now. Maybe I should read them from a couple down. All right, we've got Clash with Rushes. Hi, big fan of you. Thank you very much for your support. Airtime, what are the best options for handheld gimbals and stabilization for 360 cameras? I don't have a perfect option for that yet. I know there's some companies out there that make the full gimbal or gyro stabilized stabilizers for 360 cameras. I have the DJI Osmo Mobile, and what I have done is mounted the phone in the Osmo Mobile. I was looking for it because it was here before, but welcome to the toy room, stuff's everywhere. So I had the phone in the mount. I then put a phone mount on top of the DJI Osmo mount and mounted the 360 camera on top of that. So the phone was being stabilized, which then stabilized the 360 camera. It's an expensive way to do it and not a great way to do it, but it worked. But I wouldn't, yeah, it was more of a test to see if it could be done with the DJI Osmo Mobile. I don't have a solution for you yet, but I'm definitely looking for one. I know that there's a couple of companies out there that make them, but when I looked, they were around $400 or $500, which when you're putting, you know, a $200 or sub $200 camera on a $400 or $500 stabilizer doesn't really make a heap of sense unless you got the budget to do it, in which case, by all means, that's awesome. But I'm looking for something around the, let me say, 80 to probably 150 price point would be a good price for a 360 stabilizer. So if you know of any, leave them in the comments, not the chat, because the chat goes away. Leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. So that's what we do. Like, I'm always researching for stuff that I'm interested in, and that's really what forms the basis of a lot of the videos that we do. Besides answering your questions in the comments, is what am I interested in? And I love talking about 360 cameras. I love playing with just tech. As I said, this isn't really an office, it's more of a toy room. So it's pretty cool that we're able to, you know, what would I be doing on the weekend? I'd be Googling stuff, how to stabilize a 360 camera. And I probably will be now, because that is something I think is awesome. And if you can do it easily and cheaply, then that would be amazing. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Sean says, are there waterproof 360 cameras great for above and below water? From New South Wales, another Australian. We have one. We were given one to test. The brand is Magic Sea. We haven't done a review on it yet because we've had a couple of issues with the camera, but it looks like a GoPro and it goes in a case. So you've got full waterproof. I think it's down to 30 meters, 100 feet. So they are out there. The Nikon Key Mission is another one that's waterproof. What I'm trying to do though, this one is splash proof and it's also better quality than the other two that I've mentioned. There is a case that you can get for this one too, the Samsung Gear 360. And there's also a generic case, it's like a plastic bag that you can use for most cameras to take them underwater. We're gonna do some testing with some of those and see if we can come up with a better option. But I don't know how the Magic Sea one goes yet. And we actually have another one that we're gonna be testing soon. I think the brand is Xiaomi. Might be saying that wrong. I really can't remember. I just saw that we've got one coming, so that would be definitely something. I mean, I come from an action sports background where I've been working with big wave surfers like the guy here behind me, and yeah, so filming in the water is something that I think is absolutely amazing and something that I really enjoy doing. So I want to take 360 underwater, and I haven't found the best solution for that yet, but hopefully soon we'll have some answers for you. But the issues that we've been having with that Magic Sea camera aren't the camera itself. It's like every memory card we've put in it so far hasn't worked. So they've just sent us through new firmware. Hopefully that'll fix it and we can get testing and it might be a good option then. But yeah, that's where I'm at with waterproof 360. But I wasn't a big fan of the Nikon Key Mission. And there's also a heap of other reviews online yeah, saying similar things. It's just not there in terms of quality, and the stitching lines where the two cameras join is really, really bad, or it stands out. So just my opinion. And maybe that's something they can fix with a firmware upgrade. Sean says, are you a fan of a single, are you more of a fan of a single great camera or a dual camera setup? That's a good question. Single great camera or a dual camera set? I would say single great camera, hands down. One camera to do both and get something with interchangeable lenses then. So for me, it's the Panasonic GH4 and I'm swapping lenses out all the time. But it'll come down to your budget and the types of videos you're creating. I do use and have the wide angle lenses and the telephoto lenses for smartphone filming. So that's a good exception. So yeah, look at the camera first and get something that's within your budget and will do most of the things you want to do, and then grow beyond that and use lens adapters or interchangeable lenses if you can to help improve on that. Hope that makes sense. Cool, we might start wrapping this up. It has been nearly an hour now, and thank you very much for joining us. I'll just take the last couple of questions here. The 360 Fly is from Mitch, is great for underwater. I did have a quick test with the 360 Fly. Again, it was side by side with the Samsung, and the quality wasn't 100%, but obviously the Samsung didn't go underwater. So I haven't tested the 360 Fly personally underwater yet, but we're looking to do an underwater 360 camera review or comparison to then have a recommendation for which is the best one. So if you've got great feedback on that, would love to hear it. But again, I haven't tried that one in the water. Cool, so we've got Ram Varma, who has awesomely bolded their text. Well done. At least it's showing up on the screen like that. Which lenses are you using to shoot videos? I'm using, as I said, the Panasonic GH4, which is a mirrorless camera. I primarily use Sigma lenses with a speed booster. So it's essentially an adapter. So I can use a Canon lens mount Sigma lens on the Panasonic camera. And that's what helps me get this shallow depth of field or the blurry background. Cool. All right. Well, what we might do is wrap that up. I apologize if I haven't got to your questions. They're just going to keep coming in, but leave your questions in the comments and we will try to answer them, or try to jump on next week at the same time and we will answer them then. So have an awesome weekend. Keep creating. Don't get stuck. Just create your videos and you can always improve. That's my #1 tip for anyone. And yeah, have an awesome weekend and I will see you later.